Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. And today we're going to be taking a look at something slightly different. As you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm in the room where I do most of my painting. And today I'm going to be showing you how I actually paint. And quite a few people have messaged me and say, can we actually see you paint as regards instead of just holding up a painting, which is absolutely fine. I understand that. It's not something I do very often. In fact, I don't think I've ever done it before. So what I've actually done for you today, especially for those people who requested that, I've shot a video, a real-time live video of me actually completing a painting. So that's the blank canvas there, and that is how it's going to end up. So the painting itself is actually going to be a marker pen painting. So I'll be using water-based marker pen for that. So if you want to sit back, relax, you can watch me do that. I'll do a bit of chat, tell you how I actually go about drawing it, give you a few tips, tricks and different things you can actually incorporate into your own drawings if that's something you're interested in. Also, I'll be doing a second version of the same video. I'm just going to do a time-lapse video, make it a lot faster, a lot less painful for those people who haven't got much time. You can zap through the whole thing in a couple of minutes, fast speed, and see me actually completing the painting. So there we go. So there's going to be two choices. So thanks a lot for your time. I hope you like what you see, and I hope you find it interesting as well. I've never done anything like this before, so fingers crossed it comes out okay. So sit back, relax, and see how we get on. So these are the pens I'm going to be using on this particular painting. So it's going to be a drawing type of painting. So these are Posca pens made by Mitsubishi, as you can see there. And I've got red, yellow, green, and I'm going to use a blue somewhere if I can find it. There we go. So the pens I'm going to be using, and I'm also going to be using a Sharpie as well. So I'll use the Sharpie to give a bit of definition afterwards. So I'm just going to press on and let this roll, and then you can see how I get on. So I'll probably use the Sharpie towards the end, to be honest, because I just use the outline on those. I'm just going to go with it and see how we get on. So let's give these a good old shake. I could do with a bit of paper actually just to blot this on that I haven't got ready. Hang on, let's go over here, just get a piece of paper. Right, okay. Right, let's start off with the blue. And there you go, across like that. The canvas I'm using at the moment, this has got a bit of a texture on it actually, as you can see. So might not be ideal for this because you might get a little bit of texture comes through where it doesn't actually sink into the actual canvas, but it'll do just for the purpose of showing what I want to do with this. So these kind of pens are great because you can overlay them as well. So once that's dry, you can go over it with another colour. I hope it's dry enough, we'll soon find out. Yep. There we go, and we're just going to go around the whole board, just link everything in nicely. And we're going to use the green. I'm going to go around that one. Join that one there, go across. Looks a bit bland in the middle, so we just put those together. Let's go across there. And we're going to go across there. So I'll just put a background colour on here, but I'm going to give it a yellow. Generally speaking, put the lighter colours on first at the back. This is obviously still going to be a little bit kind of wet, so I'm not going to go right to the edges on this, otherwise it's going to bleed. So let me just fill that in there like that. And again, because this is a canvas, you've got that nice edge, so it makes it quite easy going really. You haven't got to worry too much about the edges because you can actually kind of lean on the edge when you do it. Turn it around. Not the most exciting thing to watch, but there we go. People wanted to see what it looks like when I'm drawing, so I'll chop this video up into segments actually, so as you're watching this, you haven't got to have the pain of watching me do the whole thing. So we'll just edit this. I'll give you a rough idea. And these are quite nice actually, these pens, so you can cover quite big areas. You can get even bigger ones actually, much bigger nibbed ones, but I haven't got any at the moment. When you do anything like that, just be a little bit careful that you don't catch it with your hand or anything like that. Otherwise you're going to completely muck it up. So as you can see, when you use these pens, they do need to be shaken every now and again just to get the ink right the way down. Otherwise you don't get a uniform cover. I'm getting there actually. I'll give it a bit of a shake and just blot it on another piece of paper. Sorry, off camera there. And then it'll just push the ink down to the bottom again. I'm going to leave a few of these empty, these spaces. I'm just going to change colour, go to the red. We will fill that one in because it needs a bit of solid colour down the bottom there. What you can do, the beauty of these is you can actually layer on top. So once these are dry, again, you can use the same kind of pen, different colour on top, and you can build up the layers and build up the colours. Oops, sorry, my chair, you can hear that because I'm sitting on a swivel chair that's moving around. When you're doing stuff like this, don't be too worried about the corners being too precise because there's lots of little tricks you can do just to kind of fill those in at the end. At the end of the day, it's just kind of quite a rough exercise, this. This is only using just the 4 colours. I got these in a pack from a shop, so that's why I just got the 4 colours. But you could use more. It just depends, really. When you're doing something like this, just be mindful of the colours that are actually meeting each other. I'm going to have 2 reds there, so I need to be a little bit careful. So I'm not going to take that right to the edge of the red, otherwise it's going to end up one big block. I think painting is a little bit mathematical, really. You have to kind of think ahead and work out what's going to clash with what. I'm going to stick a green in. Green's a colour I don't use often, actually. Green, people tend not to like green. I don't know why. I mean, it's one of nature's colours, but for some reason in paintings, unless it's like a landscape or something, as far as abstract goes, people never seem to like green very much. That's what I found anyway, but I'll be totally wrong. And I tend to turn this around so I can see what I'm doing. I'm working a bit of a weird angle here, so if it doesn't look that perfect, that's the reason why. Oh dear, there we go. Up there. I've got 2 greens together there, so what I'll do at some point, I'll just kind of separate that a little bit. I'll put an outline on that. Probably not going to do a huge amount, much more filling in on that, to be honest. Don't make it hard for yourself, just kind of make it nice and easy. There we go. So you can see as you go over the colour, it goes over the top. So I can now layer over this now. I can go with this blue like that. And I can link that in right across. There we go. And it just joins the whole thing together. This is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting. But do make sure your colours are dry before you do this. This is why sometimes you can't kind of rush these things. And then say rush, this is relatively fast, to be honest. Might speed this video up actually, not too sure how much you can bear of this, but there we go. Right, so it's kind of taking shape. I think we're going to go a bit more blue. Give it a good old shake. I've just got a piece of card here, I just blot it. Just blush it on like that, get the old ink flowing. And again, we're overlayering now. So this helps us link all these colours together. I can get some definition as I come down there. Bring that across. Let's stop that there. I'm just kind of looking at the colours to see, and the shapes to see what I can link into what. Link that across. That is still a little bit wet, but we'll go with that. If you do start to contaminate the colour, you can either just put it on a piece of paper, or just to kind of get the residue from the previous colour out, or just scribble on something just to get rid of it, get your original colour back again. So don't worry about it too much, but it's not something you want to keep doing, otherwise you're going to completely muck up your colour. So it needs to be really, really dry before you do that. And you can see when it's dry by just the light. If you look at the light, you can see what's dry and what is not. Yellow, you're going to have to be quite careful with, obviously, because it's a very light colour. If you are going over an existing colour, make sure it's absolutely dry, otherwise you're going to have a complete mess and it's going to bleed. So I tend to only do that when I know it's dry. I might risk the odd one, but again, I don't want to contaminate the yellow. Otherwise, you go muck up your pen. So I think, there you go. So I think I've kind of got most of those. So what I'm going to do now with the yellow, I'm going to put a few dots in here. So I'm really looking for something that's dry because I'm doing this live. So that bit looks fairly dry to me. So I'm just going to put some dots across there. Just check it to make sure, yep, it's not contaminated. We're doing pretty good on that. That's fine, so we can carry on with that. Don't be too precious about it. Just go with it. It's just a nice, easy way to fill space. Just give it a bit of a variation. That's still wet, so I can't do much with that. I can do a bit here on the red, I think. Yep, let's try it. Yep, that's pretty good. More dots here. So go for round dots this time, so using a different part of the chisel end. I'm not going to go up there because I can see that's still wet. So as you turn it all the time, you're looking to see what is wet and what's not. I have to rush this a little bit, but I want to give you a good idea. Right, okay, so kind of happy with that as a basis. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to start using my Sharpie pen. So I'm shaking it, doesn't need to be shaken actually. Again, this is kind of just like the tip on this is just like a round tip. It's nothing too fancy, really. You can use these for writing, but they do tend to be quite good for if you want to draw something. So I'm going to start just picking out a few highlights here. So if I'm going to look at a few of these angles here, and it just gives it a bit of definition. So if you imagine the light, people often think that abstract is just completely random, but it's not actually. I mean, like this, I'm looking, sort of the light is coming from this direction, so underneath and to the right is going to be in a shadow. You can either apply that right the way around, it's up to you. If you apply it right the way around, it tends to look better, but I'm just going to kind of go with it at the moment. You can have a bit of a random looking thing there. And we can do the same over here. Give it a bit of a 1960s random odd kind of a look to it there. Again, I'll have to get my hand off this just to make sure it doesn't, oh, it's a bit wet there, you can see. And I'm going to be careful that I don't muck up my pen, so I'm just going to get rid of that on there. We can keep off that yellow for a bit. And stick to these parts here. Overlay of that. Just takes a while to build it up, so you're kind of thinking, oh, that's a bit too wet, but I'll go with it. There's the different things you can put on this. That's too wet. I'm going to abandon that and come back to that. That'll be yellow, is that? That's not too bad. It's kind of okay. Circles. Just go with shapes that you like, really. Don't worry about it too much. As you kind of turn it around, I mean, this is just like a cake stand I bought in IKEA years ago. But what you'll do, I kind of like these cake stand things because it gives you a different perspective each time. You just turn it around and start to fill it in. I'm a bit still wet on that, but I'm going to go with it. There you go. And the other parts here, again, if you want to highlight some of those areas, you can do that. And we do the other right angles there. Just gives it a bit of definition. You can take that right across if you want. Help join the whole thing up. Nothing to stop you linking parts together. Just highlighting between that blue. And really, you're just kind of playing around with this, to be honest. The more you do these kind of things, the more confident you'll get. Just putting a bit more pressure on the canvas here, just try and get that to sink in. I think I've got the Swedish flag there, haven't I? Something like that. See, I've actually gone off there, so my choices are, because I've screwed that up there, I'm either going to have to block that in totally black or put another line down there. I think I'm going to block it in totally black, so I'm just going to make that a bit thicker going down there. Could have done with a thicker pen here, but I haven't got one. If you ever do get a mistake like that or anything, don't worry about it, just go with it. Never beat yourself up over anything, there's no point. If you start doing stuff like that, you're not enjoying it. Black's quite nice actually, because you can play around with black quite nicely and just extend those lines. Don't be frightened to go into the next shape, because it will just link everything together. Painting like this is just, the idea is you're just linking things together. Like a puzzle, really, like a jigsaw puzzle. You're in control of it. If you see a nice angle there that you want to exaggerate, you can do that. Be a little bit careful though. Otherwise you start to go into a different realm. So generally speaking, just stick to the original shapes that you've got and just exaggerate and play around with them. Right, so got a few interesting bits there. And I think I'm just going to put a few more colours on here. I do like my yellows, to be honest, so let's just see if it's dry enough to get some yellow on. So again, just blotting it on there. And am I going to get away with that? Yes. It's just had that little extra bit of time to dry, which is quite useful. Got a bit of fluff there. Can't go rid of that. Yeah, God. I'll have to stay on that. Right, I think I need a bit more definition around some of these shapes. I haven't got a thick black pen actually, which is a bit of a shame. I did have one, but I don't know what I've done with it. I did have a nice black marker pen, but I seem to have lost it on my way somewhere or other. Let's move that up again. I've got one here. No, I'm lying. Actually, I have got a black pen here. I don't know what this is like. Oh, let me give this a go. Seems pretty good. Fine, go with that. Right, so. Oh, that's nicer. Yeah, it's a lot better. Hoping that's picking up on camera because I can't really see what I'm doing, but there we go. A lot of people don't like black, but I love it. I'll really pull that together. I'm going to have another go at this because I had to do that when it was wet and it didn't work. There we go. Mainly my yellows needed a bit of help. One of those things when you drawing or painting, it's kind of knowing where to stop. Otherwise, you can go too far, which is quite easy to do. It's coming on now. Just going to pull that across, pull that down there. It's almost like threads, really. Linking the whole thing together. So that bit there needs a bit of something doing to it. But you don't want to overdo it and kill it. Quite like this bit here. I don't know if I can see that on camera, but I like the circles there, but I'm going to do opposites here. So I'm going to have filled in circles there. I think we're going to carry that across. I'm going to do a few more of those maybe. So have some there just to counteract some of the squares, just give it a bit of a different feel to it. I think we're quite well there actually. Go back to my other smaller black pen with Sharpie. Oops. I think I'm quite happy with that. Just go back, a bit of black. I might just get a bit more yellow, I think. I never really like yellow and green. I don't know why, but sometimes it works well. I think that's going to work out all right, actually. Quite like that effect. We're going to use that a bit more. Okay. Let me do a few more down there. Kind of reaching the point now where I think I'm nearly there. I don't want to go and put too much in this, otherwise it looks just a bit too messy. So I might say it looks too messy anyway, but there you go. Dots are a great way to fill in colour, to fill in space. If you're ever struggling, dots, lines, anything like that, just whack it in, see what it looks like. Can't go too near that black because I think it's going to bleed onto that. Turn that across that blue. Go away with that, that's okay. That's quite nice. I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to call it a day on that one. So there we go. So that is an acrylic drawing. So it's acrylic pens, acrylic watercolour. I'm not actually too sure they are. I always thought these were acrylic, but then when I looked at something, it's actually said a watercolour base. So perhaps somebody can let me know about that. But these are really nice pens, actually. I got these in the shop as just like a pack. And they were on offer, actually. So I just took a punt and have a go using them. I really enjoyed using those. But one of the other things that is really good is a Sharpie pen. So you can't beat a Sharpie pen for a bit of fine detail. And then the other thing I do use is got some really small, fine detail black marker pens. But generally something like that, that's all you really need to use. So there we go. So what you want to, what we've got here is finished product. So as you can see, I've not done the edges, left the edges as they are. If you wanted, you could go around the side and you could colour those if you wanted. Or like I said before, if you wanted to give it a nice little definition, you could use the kind of the chunky bit there, and you could actually just go right around the edge there as it turns the corner to give it a nice definition. Probably won't worry on this one, just leave it as it is. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed having a look at that. I'm sorry it's been a bit of a long video, but a few people have asked that they wanted to see me draw just to get an idea how I come up with the designs. So as you can see, it is pretty random. It just does unfold as I complete the painting, basically, or drawing. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I shall probably put another one on. We'll put another video on next week. I shall do that, and I'll probably be showing you a painting. But I hope you found this particular bit interesting and not too boring. So thanks a lot for your time, and I shall see you very soon. So there we go. That is the completed painting. I hope you enjoyed watching that and found something quite useful, or a few tips and tricks that you might have picked up along the way. So I must thank you very much for all the people that have contacted me. I'm still quite amazed that so many people actually are interested in what I do. So it's yeah, something that's taken me by surprise, actually. So I really do appreciate that. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so. It doesn't cost anything, and you can get notifications when I put new videos on, which come out every Friday. And you can also see how I progress throughout the paintings career. And I'll be showing you a lot more paintings, and maybe some more actual workshops as I actually create work myself. There's a train going past, isn't it great timing? Anyway, there we go. So I shall see you soon. Give it the old thumbs up. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio for now. Take care.